ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 164 of the MTB podcast, presented and hosted by Worldwide Cyclery, KETL Mountain Apparel, and Trailwind Components. I'm Jared.
I'm Jeff.
And I'm Liam.
That is right, ladies and gentlemen. We are joined by special guest Jeff Cayley. We're graced with his presence, and in this episode, we discuss Jeff's bonkers 100-mile mountain bike ride back east, the insanity that was the KETL Rocky Mountain Oyster Challenge, plus some classic listener questions ranging from Q factor to what kind of bait would catch us if we were fish, and everything in between. What do you think? What do you think about that?
Listener questions that everyone wants to know.
Yes, that everybody...
Q factor and bait.
Yes.
There's a lot more than that.
There's a lot more to it, and that's why we say everything in between.
There's always more to the listener questions. Always good, insightful questions from mountain bikers to mountain bikers.
Always. Always plenty to learn from listener questions. And also always plenty to learn from Zach's words of wisdom. Being a winner is above all else.
So that quote actually came from Mason Johnson, who was he calls himself the Minnesota kid that found level 1 jar 7. That's what he wrote in the subject line. So he writes this email to treasure@kettlemountain.com during the treasure hunt last weekend, and this is what he wrote. I'm just going to read it because it's hilarious. After a wild goose chase that was the level 1 jar, that was the one and only jar to make it into my soft hands. For the prize money I won, it was exciting, yet it is merely just materialistic. However, the memories of this day will last a lifetime. This experience sums up that, quote, an experience is worth more than a materialistic object. A statement that is actually false, because had I not found that first jar, my day had been uneventful and I a loser. Bringing me to my final conclusion that being a winner is above all else.
That's hilarious.
And then he says, thanks, Jeff, for teaching me that I need to be a winner in life first in order to have the best experiences second. I will die young in a long, long time.
Hilarious. That is
This is
so
also
good.
pulling a quote off our clothing, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Die young as late as possible. We put that on the kettle stuff all the time in the emails and whatnot. So yeah, that was hilarious. I was cracking up. So anyways, and I sent that to Zach and I said, this sounds like you. This should be your words of wisdom. And he said, yeah, definitely. So that's where that came from.
Amazing. Yeah, he did. He was like, oh, I have some words of wisdom right here. I just need to find it. I was like, okay.
Oh,
Awesome.
That's what he said. He goes, there's so many chats. I don't know where it's at.
Yeah, it was in the treasure hunt chat group.
Nice.
There's a lot going on last weekend in that's for sure.
Awesome. Well, you know what else is awesome is Daniel's fun fact. There is a mushroom that can control the minds of ants. Ophiocordyceps fungi infect ants, hijack their brains, and force them to climb plants before sprouting a spore stalk from their heads.
Yeah, I think I've seen that on Planet Earth or something before.
Me too.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
There's some just the weirdest stuff going on with insects and plants and stuff like that, especially if you ever go to the Amazon and see weird things like that. It's fascinating, but also just weird, abnormal.
The animal kingdom is extremely weird, abnormal, and fascinating.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very cool. You know what else is very cool is this fantastic testimonial.
You can't read that whole thing.
Oh, yeah, I can.
9 paragraphs.
Oh, it's like 3 sentences. After being rear-ended in a car accident, my bike was unfortunately totaled. I was feeling overwhelmed and unsure of where to start, but then I reached out to James at Worldwide Cyclery, Nevada team, and everything changed for the better. From the moment I contacted him, James was incredibly kind, compassionate, and understanding. Not only did he take the time to listen to my concerns, but he also made sure I felt supported throughout the entire process. He walked me through different bike options, answering all of my questions with great knowledge and care. James truly went above and beyond to help me find the perfect replacement bike. His customer service was top-notch, he was informative, patient, and always available to assist me with any issue I had. Thanks to his help, I am back on the trail with a new Yeti, and I couldn't be happier. If you're looking for someone who is not only skilled, but also genuinely cares about your experience, I highly recommend reaching out to James at Worldwide Cyclery. You won't be disappointed. That's high praise.
That's high praise, man.
Yeah.
James deserves it. He does. He's really.
I was going to say, James is probably the most kind and compassionate customer service rep.
He is.
Yeah.
Puts his heart and soul into it.
Mm-hmm.
And you gotta love it. You love to see it.
Yeah, he's a good dude, super good at what he does, and also a massive bike nerd that loves to just talk about bike stuff all the time.
Truly.
Yeah.
One of the biggest biker nerds I know. James, I know you're listening.
Mm-hmm.
He'll send me photos of bikes that he just got. He'll like, scored this off the pink bike buy sell for the steal.
Yeah. Every time I go
love
to
it.
Nevada, he's got a different bike, and he's just, I got this one on pink bike buy sell. I got this. I'm like, dude.
People think
Worse
we
than
roll.
me.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah,
say people think we
we're
roll
bad.
through bikes.
Yeah.
Like I roll through bikes a season, but not like 6 a season.
James is wheeling and dealing every other month, dude.
If there was like AA for bike addiction, like I'd probably be there with James.
Remember we were going to film that YouTube video?
Oh, yeah.
We had a whole script written out. We just never did it. It's called Jared is Addicted to Bike Parts.
It's true.
We had all those funny video clips we were going to have of you buying bike parts and sleeping with bike parts. And yeah, that could have been a funny video.
It's really true, as evidenced
if
by...
anybody wants to fund the production cost of that video, please do shoot us over some money. Because I don't.
Could be Yelnat, never know.
That's true.
But
Just need a good sponsor for it.
That's true. Speaking of...
We could sponsor out the pod one of these days,
Yeah.
Get some revenue in there.
I know, we really should. Is the fact that SRAM has now finally started to sell SRAM and RockShox consumer direct on their own website? Yeah.
As of when?
It's happened.
This weekend?
I don't know. It must have been...
They just clicked the button.
They don't even say anything. Yeah, I knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
The 1987 kits and the Reverb Access are now on. You can buy direct from SRAM.
Only those, though.
I thought they've had that for a while.
No, so Cork and Zip have been consumer direct
and Time since they purchased Time
for a long time, and they've never had anything SRAM or RockShox available for purchase.
But it's all the same website.
Right.
When you toggle between the brands, it's the same site. So literally all they have to do is probably click an active button.
It's all set up.
And it goes. Yeah.
Just like switch it over.
So if the bicycle retail world and independent bike shops around the world weren't already just on the ground gasping for air, there is now more salt in the wound with the first you had Fox go consumer direct, and now you've got SRAM. So.
Well, maybe SRAM would be interested in advertising on the podcast for sales on their website.
It's not a bad idea, and it could happen.
But you know what? I guarantee you that they will not be discounting stuff on their own website. Right?
You guarantee that?
Guarantee that?
Okay, I won't guarantee it, because Fox, I'm pretty sure, has been already doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When push comes to shove and you're in a bad financial position, like everybody in the bike industry is right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. God only knows what could happen.
God only knows.
I mean, they might not, discount current product that's hard to get, but they're going to discount.
Right. That's what I mean. Like, they won't just do, Black Friday,
Yeah, it's just an unfortunate structural change, right? Because as every single brand, component brand and bike brand offers a consumer direct channel, you then now have all of the media outlets that basically are losing all their traffic and revenue to all these other different things like ChatGPT and the way Google's shoving results down and all that. So they're just littering their sites with ads and trying to sell you outside plus subscriptions. And then you have all these bike shops who have zero incentive or profit motive or even ability to make profit selling this stuff. And it just everything fails. There's no stoke for the product. There's no hype for the product. There's no good retailers for the product. It's doom and gloom, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. But, on that super optimistic note, how about the bikes and rides we've been enjoying lately?
Still some great bikes out there.
Yeah, our guest Jeffrey's bringing down the band.
I know.
Jeff, with this attitude, you're not getting invited back to the podcast.
The bikes and rides. Speaking of which, bikes are so good.
Bikes are the best.
Luca was talking about today, friend of ours. What was it? He was talking about the World Series of Baseball and Ohtani's best performance in sports history or something. And then he was talking about how different how hard it is to compare, baseball today versus what it was in the 50s, right? It's just the bats are different. Everything's just so much stuff different.
Yeah.
And then he actually asked me about mountain biking. I said, well, mountain biking really didn't even really exist until the mid-90s in a sense. And he was just kind of surprised he didn't realize it was that sort of new of a sport in comparison to a lot of other more traditional sports. But it is funny to think, I mean, if you look at a mountain bike from the year 2001, I mean, the thing is archaic. It's crazy how different it is now and how optimized.
You'd be terrified to ride that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Terrified,
for sure.
Yeah, they're death traps almost.
Yeah, for sure.
And now it's just the bicycle has evolved so far.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
It's like take the best downhill bike, let's just go 20 years back from 2005.
Yeah.
And ride that to the least amount of travel full suspension XC bike you have. And I'll take that least amount of travel XC bike every single day.
Yeah. Current XC bike. Yeah.
From 2025.
Yeah. But what's funny is like, not everything was like, right? Like you said, mountain bikes are relatively new in that space. But like you think about cars, like in the early 2000s, like that was a lot of people would say like that's peak automotive
I think
engineering.
It is peak.
Like, or like late 90s, early 2000s. Like
depends what automotive
on the brand.
engineering you're talking about, right?
Right.
Like along cars built to last for the longevity.
Right.
I do think that's like probably the peak.
Like minimized technology.
Like I'm going to buy a truck from that era.
Right.
Like
exactly.
Now. But obviously like a crazy electric car, that's a different type of automotive technology, right?
Obviously didn't exist,
but they're just different. But
but then bikes, like you said, the bikes like now they're like as good as they've ever been. And
it is cool. I mean, riding a modern day bike, I mean, even just in my relatively short existence as a mountain biker for 20 years, I guess it's not that short, but
relatively.
But starting to ride at age 13. I mean, the bike that I rode and raced on as a teenager, which didn't have a dropper post, the one by drivetrain was sort of jerry-rigged by myself with a chain guide because there was no narrow wide tooth chain rings.
Fell off
there was no clutch in the derailleur. So you had to have a chain guide to run it. The rear cassette didn't have enough range, but you just dealt with it. The brakes were terrible. Basically no traction, 26-inch wheels. I mean, it's so different now, 20 years later, how good bikes are, which is cool. But, now they're a little bit of a plateau, potentially. We'll see. Can't really ever predict that. I mean, they've undoubtedly plateaued in just the last 4 years, but we'll see where they go in the next 10.
Yeah.
It's hard to imagine how much better they could get, but you never know.
It's true.
You never know, man.
I see a lot more innovation just being dumped into the e-bike space.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of focus on that. Well, that's the only place anyone's making any money these days.
Yeah. I just don't see how I can make an XC bike that much better or trail bike that much better.
I mean, I guess I think it eventually is going to boil down to like, carbon technology, right? Like how much better can the carbon get? Because that's obviously the fundamental and the most common material we're using, right? Like if the carbon gets, twice as strong and half as light, right?
Yeah. And maybe half as expensive.
Yeah.
Doubtful. But I mean, that's a problem. The plateau is it's kind of, you're still seeing improvements, but they're small, they're subtle, and they're outrageously expensive.
Yeah.
And like if the carbon gets half as light, your 33-pound enduro bike is going to be 31 and a half, 30 pounds.
Like it's pretty nice.
I still think it would be cool. Yeah.
No, it would be, but it's not like we're still at a minimal improvement.
Yeah,
right?
incremental gain.
We're not moving the needle a lot.
Marginal gains.
Yeah.
How speaking of which, how was your ASR during your 100-mile mountain bike ride?
It's fantastic.
Was that the tool for the job?
That was.
Would you have picked any other bike?
Yeah. So that ride was the Moco Epic. And I think it was the 15th annual.
Really?
Epic.
That is put on by MORE, which I don't... Do you have the acronym memorized? Maryland Montgomery County Off-Road Cycling Association? I don't know. They maintain...
Mid-Atlantic?
Mid-Atlantic. They are the trail stewardship that basically maintains a huge amount of trails in the greater Maryland and DC area.
Mid-Atlantic off-road enthusiasts, MORE.
There we go.
Oh.
Yeah, they're amazing. So they also are the ones who have a huge hand in maintaining the Shed, which is what the new Trail One rim and wheel set is named after.
Nice.
And their Moco Epic, they do every year, and there's sort of a little jump jam, and then they have all these different distance rides that connect all the local trails around there. And I think they said this was the first year they offered the 100-mile distance, but it was self-navigated, whereas all the other courses, the 20, 30, 50, 70 milers had arrows and stuff. So the 100-mile was self-navigated, and it actually got postponed due to rain because a big nor'easter, which you guys probably don't know what that is.
I'm familiar.
Heard about a nor'easter?
I know what a nor'easter is. I've never lived through one, but I've heard of them.
I don't know what a nor'easter is.
It's just the name of a big storm that happens in the Northeast. basically it was coming in and it looked like the weather was going to be terrible on Sunday, and they were worried about, safety, the volunteer participation, all that sort of stuff. So they ended up Friday night postponing it to the week after.
Dang.
And I was only out there until Monday. I was flying back home, and so I was planning to do this with all the guys from the B team. They just told me they were doing it, and I said, hey, can I tag along? Sounds really fun. And we sponsored an aid station and all that. But it got postponed, and I said, guys, let's just do it anyway. I said, let's just see what the weather looks like Sunday morning, and if it gets terrible, we'll just pull the chute. But let's just try it anyway. It's weather. You never know what happens. So anyways, the weather ended up not being that bad. It took us a super long time to do the 100 miles. It was, I think, 90% single track, which was awesome.
That's
cool.
But also very tiring.
Yeah.
And
slow.
physical and
Jeez.
slow. Yeah. And so, yeah, a lot of just upsy downsy, meandering around. No, not really one single huge ascent or descent. But really well built trails, really well maintained, super fun. Took a long time. The B team guys, they had their highs and lows and ups and downs.
Well, let's also say it took
But
an
it was
elapsed
good.
time of 16 hours and a
Took
moving
16
time
hours.
of 12 and a half.
12 and a half.
Everyone has ups and downs
Yeah.
with 12 and a half hours of moving and 16 hours of being on a bike.
Yeah,
That's
a
a lot.
lot of people look at that and they're like, it seems like it took forever. It's like, just if you just do it yourself and then tell me that took forever.
Yeah.
Because 100 miles of single track, it takes a long time to do
Yeah.
that, and it's hard on your body. And if in this time of year, the sun went down at, I think we started at 8. We wanted to start at 7:30, but we started at 8, and got dark by 6:45, and then so a huge amount of that was in the dark. So it's just a long time.
Yeah. You spent almost half the time in the dark.
Yeah. So,
Wow.
but because they had postponed it, we were basically just out there rogue, by ourselves. So we did our own aid stations. So Taylor was there. So I had her basically, we stocked everything in the rental car, and we met her at basically mile 25, 50, 75, and then the finish.
That's so nice
So
of her.
we basically
That's
self-supported it, and she ran the portable aid station. It was a ton of fun. I mean, it was awesome. A couple of the guys had some good crashes and got back up, which is hard to deal with on a ride that long, but it was awesome. The trails are well done out there. But man, I think it's an experience that's worth doing just because you get to see how fun it is, and you learn about your body and how long your body can last and how to eat food and all that sort of stuff. And yeah,
What'd you
it was a
learn?
good time. What did I learn?
Yeah.
I mean, I estimated 14 to 16 hours, and all those guys just thought I was out of my mind and
Really?
that was way too long. And I said, I've done a couple things like
Yeah.
this. I know how long this is going to take.
Well, I think
And-
on the podcast, when we were talking about it, I think I said it's going to take 10 to 12 moving
Yeah.
based on average speed.
Yeah.
Oh
that
yeah,
type of terrain,
absolutely.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, and those guys, I mean, a lot of those guys had never ridden over 50 in their life. I
Yeah.
think Matt's longest ride was 30 or something, or 40.
Wow.
So yeah, it was, and they all did honestly way better than I'd anticipated. They all rode super well and held together, and just the group chat the weeks prior, I thought, oh, this is going to be an absolute disaster. But there's just so much sarcasm, and I don't know all of them that well. And then once it got down to it, I was, oh no, these guys are taking it serious. Like they actually have been paying attention and planned out their food, and they're pacing correctly. And
Good.
that's good.
so
You
yeah,
don't have to like babysit them and be like,
Yeah, it
are
was
you
much-
eating? Are you drinking?
yeah, it was much better than I thought it was going to be on
That's
that front.
good. That's good.
But it was a really fun experience, and and it did rain for probably the last 6 or so hours, but a really light rain. So the dirt was actually really good most of the ride. It was barely muddy at all for the whole second half. A couple little creek crossings here and there, and slippery bridges, but it was really fun. It's a good
Nice.
time. Good mountain bike ride to do. And then they did do the event the following weekend, which is when David and McCluskey and Matt were back out there running the aid station and everything. So we did have a whole Worldwide Cyclery, KETL, and Trail One sponsored aid station out there. So maybe
Epic.
some of the listeners got to enjoy the aid station.
Epic.
Yeah,
That's super.
it was
Moco.
epic, man.
Epic.
It was.
The Moco Epic. The Rogue Moco Epic.
The
Moco
because
Epic.
nobody was out there.
That's honestly impressive that you were able to ride so much single track in that distance. Like, I'm like thinking, where could you even do that out here? Like, unless you're just looping the same trail. Like,
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, that
Yeah.
is unique about that
Yeah.
area. It's all connected. You had very few little road connectors here and there, And, you could tell riding that route, there was a few weird sort of, it for the most part was a giant oval clockwise 100-mile loop. And then there was a couple of these weird little sort of lollipop shape out and backs to just hit additional single track to get the mileage.
Yeah.
But the route was really well done.
Wow.
And yeah, there's, it's possible because there just is that much single track out there that's all maintained and good to go.
That's cool.
It was really fun.
That's awesome.
Should do it next year, Jared.
Maybe I will.
Yeah. 100 miles?
Maybe on your
you have fun with those
ASR,
guys.
we can do our backbone challenge with Tyden and I.
That's true.
Probably do it in I don't know, with my wrist, February, March or something.
Sounds like a great time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't there an unofficial backbone point-to-point mountain bike ride?
It's a ride,
Yeah.
but they do the legal route as well.
Oh,
So
gotcha.
you have to drop down a PCH like 2 times, I
Oh.
think,
Yeah.
and back up.
Brutal.
Yeah, that is
So-
annoying that just certain
I know.
portions are hike only.
Yeah.
It is silly.
And they're
Yeah, they're the best portions. Well,
Of
the
course
best
they
portion
are.
is the one in Sycamore, which is bikeable.
yeah,
but
yeah.
Yeah, the other ones. Yeah, that is kind of lame.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
It is lame. That's pretty cool. Well, my rides weren't that cool, but,
Yeah.
I did get to sample some of our local Hero Dirt, which is like,
Oh, yeah, it rained good here, huh?
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I got out a few rides on the MTE, our demo MTE.
Yeah.
That bike is just so
The
good.
Yeti MTE.
The Yeti MTE
Did they ever
mid-travel
confirm
bike.
what the M stands for?
I have to imagine it's mid-travel.
Yeah.
Mid-travel,
Mid-travel
E,
E.
long
is
travel
long.
E.
Yeah. It's honestly one of the most fun bikes, just bar none, bike I've ever ridden. Like, the Geo is so good. The suspension platform, Sixfinity, so good. The weight, like with the motor, it makes you just, and plus the Hero Dirt, I was just giggling like a child.
Looks a lot better than the LTE, too.
Yes.
Like, it just looks like a...
I mean, it doesn't look that much different than their normal down tubes.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. But I'm super stoked on that bike. It's really fun.
Yeah, simultaneously as e-bikes are getting smaller and more efficient batteries and motors and the down tubes are getting smaller, every brand's normal non-e-bike is just getting these larger down tubes for weight, stiffness, rigidity, whatever.
Or like
And-
down tube storage.
and down tube
and
storage.
down tube storage,
Yeah.
yeah. So they're really looking similar these
Like
days.
the Ritual. I was like
Yeah.
looking at like a Rail 29 that came in, that blue one
Mhm.
that came out. I'm like, my God, that thing is like sexy.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, it's because they made the down tube bigger for the
Yeah.
Ritual.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, the Ritual is still sick, but like,
Frame
man,
storage.
that Rail 29
Yeah, the
just has
frame storage.
such nice lines on it.
hmm
It's also probably that Rebel decal on the down tube.
I got multiple compliments when I was out in Colorado setting all those treasure jars for being on a normal bike.
Yeah,
Like hikers see you and they go,
Mhm.
"Hey man, good to see you on an old school bike."
right? Like this is just
It's
this
just
is what I'm
funny.
doing. I know people do that all the time when I'm out there as well. But my mentality with this Hero Dirt was like, I'm trying to get as much of this as possible. So I took the e-bike out and it worked. It was great. Yeah. And yeah, I also put the lightweight wheels back on my SB140 to kind of get a little more XC-ified.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, still kind of like undecided on as if I like that or not.
Yeah.
Like it rolls faster and it's like nice on like flat stuff, but
Yeah.
it's definitely still weird. Like if you get in the air, like because the wheels and tires are so light for the travel of the bike,
Yeah.
it's
I've
interesting.
thought about that a lot more lately, especially since the ASR, just trying to match the right suspension, wheel, and tire setup to the frame.
Right.
Because if you have, super lightweight wheel and tires, they're inevitably a bit just flexy feeling. And if that's paired with a really sort of stiff, robust trail bike or enduro bike, it just doesn't feel balanced.
Yeah.
And then vice versa. If you put too heavy and durable and stiff of wheels on a really light, slightly flexy cross-country bike like the ASR, that
Right.
also kind of feels funky.
Yeah,
So
you're totally right. Kind of had that moment earlier
it's
today.
definitely something to consider if you're messing around with things like that.
Yeah, it's like a nice little like in a pinch if you just want a faster rolling bike.
Yeah.
Right. Like, and you don't want to go buy a cross country bike. But I had a moment today where I was like, wow, I could feel I kind of had a G out, and I was like, I could feel that rear wheel like flex really bad.
What's your ASR setup still like? Because didn't you have that? 'Cause you've been through several variations of light, not
Yeah.
light on the ASR.
So currently, it's still set up the way I crashed it.
Yeah.
Levers and all.
Yeah. You haven't even fixed it.
all.
It's like, did Liam like modify his angle of his
No,
levers? Like,
I just haven't touched it. Put on the shelf.
Cartwheeled it and put it up
Yeah.
for the time being.
I mean, I can't spin a wrench with my left hand. So,
Yeah.
currently I have WTB Peacekeepers on it with TT Swiss, like lighter alloy wheels, but they're still like kind of trail wheels. And then I have a Pike 130 in the front and then Deluxe in the rear.
Yeah, that's right.
motive brakes, 180 rotors, like HS2 center lines, and then like a 180 dropper. So it is pretty like, I don't know. I'd say on the trail side, like down
Trail
country
bike-ish build kit.
Yeah.
XC light frame.
Yeah.
Trail country.
Trail country.
I knew that was going to trigger you.
And it's really fun like that. Like it's super capable.
I like that.
But it's definitely on the limit of like what that frame wants to do. You can tell.
Yeah.
But I've done like everything I can to make that frame as stiff as possible. Like I swapped out the link. I've went to an XL frame, shorter stem, like all the types of things to make it feel just like a touch more than an XC bike, because that's how I like to ride it.
Yeah.
But I still want it to be light and efficient. So
if they come out with another version of that is lighter and stiffer, or even just either one, I'll be a sucker and I'll buy it right away.
I mean, they already do have that. It's the ultimate version, but you need to have
fly attendant.
You need to have at least electronic.
It's only it's a little bit. It's a little bit lighter. It's no stiffer.
Yeah, it's no stiffer.
Oh right. Well, yeah, it's what 130 or something grams.
Even
lighter.
just keep it the same weight, just make it slightly stiffer. But it's not like it's flexy either. But it's just still could be stiffer.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But all around, again, all these things are trade-offs and little things you're trying to balance. And that bike, in terms of how fast it is, how light it is, how capable it is, how good it feels when you ride it, it's a fantastic bike, which is why I keep riding it and keep coming back to it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But, yeah. I've gone full XC, dude.
Full XC.
Still
this guy doesn't even own a trail bike.
I know.
Never worn spandex and never will.
What's the next?
Nobody wore spandex on the 100 miles.
What's the next, longer travel bike? You sold your Banshee.
I don't know. I mean, that Rebel Rascal looks rad. The Ritual looks rad. Some of those Forbiddens look really cool.
For a bike that you'll travel with next year.
That's a good point, because we're doing all those trips with All Mountain Rides.
You need
Tasmania.
Yep.
Italy.
Yep.
Nepal.
Yep.
Come join us. All Mountain Rides trips next year. That's going to be rad.
Yeah, you'll have
get
to
$250 off by just telling Phil.
That's
you
right.
Heard about us.
You just got to tell Phil.
That's right.
Just be like, yo, Phil, give me a discount.
So you'll have to build a bike for those.
I will have to build a bike. Well,
unless you want to be severely underbiked.
I don't know. I'm not prepared for this question right now. I've thought about it
off the cuff. Whatever your heart says.
Mm-hmm. I want to know what's coming out.
That's
true. I bet there's going to be some new stuff coming out probably.
Yeah.
Maybe not as early as April, but maybe. The Tassie trip's not till April, so.
Yeah, at least from some of our main brands in that category, there's nothing new coming out.
Yeah.
Well, you know what is new? That's a perfect segue into the Revel custom. No, I'm reading that wrong. A concept, the titanium full suspension concept bike.
Yeah, the Revel Bikes Project Radical.
Radical.
Has to start with an R.
Liam, give us the down low on this.
The dirty?
Yeah.
Essentially, it is a prototype titanium full suspension bike from Revel Bikes. Kind of combining their roots of making titanium rigid frames like the El Jefe and the R Plus that we have all had ridden and had time on, and combining that with some full suspension knowledge that they have to make a tie frame. So it's pretty sick. Tie full suspensions are definitely rare, especially in like more of a production as well. Like you always have the bespoke ones.
It's an odd boutique bike nerd bike.
You rarely see them.
Yeah, definitely.
Why is that?
It's just hard to get the stiffness and weight and everything correct, right? And it has a definitely different ride feel being all titanium compared to alloy or carbon. Yeah, it's cool. It's Adam kind of conjured this up, I think, a little bit even before he bought Revel back.
Oh.
So it's kind of just something he was doing. And then it, bought Revel and came to be. He worked with Chris Canfield to work on a modified CBF platform, which looks like a horse link, but is actually still within CBF's patent field.
Interesting.
I don't know, they have a lot of patents for that stuff, but and the way they work is weird. But yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, linkage does look very interesting.
It's
that rocker,
like all the 3D printed joints and ends and brake mounts and head tube. They look so rad. You got to check this out if you haven't already. We have a blog. Go to Revel's site, wherever it might be.
Yeah. We'll have a link in the description.
The photos and the close up look so cool.
Yeah.
It's Adam sent it to me like a month ago.
It's
and I was
really
like, This
cool.
thing looks so sick.
Yeah, it does look rad. Yeah, I mean, Revel, so just for those who might not know, that Adam had Y-Cycles,
Yeah.
which was a Thai-only brand, and then eventually just tucked it underneath the Revel name. So they've got years and years of experience making titanium mountain bikes, and they're just super good at it. So this is cool to see, albeit this is a weird off-the-wall bike. Like if it really came down to it, you're going to, it's the same travel and probably closest same geo as the Rascal.
Yep.
So you're going to buy the Rascal logically, rationally, but also if you see this and you just love Thai and you're a bike guy, then you're just like, oh, this is rad. This is way more unique.
Yeah.
Very unique. Yeah, it would be really cool if they ended up producing it, or even in small numbers, right?
Yeah. It's raw frame, which I don't know, is pretty cool. Like, I mean, I loved traveling with a raw frame last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah, it's rad. It's something new and cool. Hopefully it gets a great response and maybe finds itself in a production slot in the near future.
That would be cool.
Currently it's just slated as a prototype. He wants to make some tweaks to it and create another one. So
very cool.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Revel and Colorado, that is like nearly a perfect segue to talk about the Rocky Mountain Oyster Challenge. That
you and your segues, man.
Yeah.
You're just always looking for them. Tell the guy he's a podcast host and he just looks for the segues.
That was the most insane treasure hunt yet.
That was, yeah. So I talked about the whole edition 3 of the Kettle Mountain Treasure Hunt, which I called the Rocky Mountain Oyster Challenge. I don't know, a handful of episodes back. What are you laughing?
The name is funny.
It is funny.
It is funny.
And so it was way more complicated than the past ones. It was a elimination format. There was levels to it. So there was basically 10 jars all over the front range of the mountains that contained the coordinates to 5 jars, which took you further west, and then to 3 jars, then to 1 jar. And you got increasing amounts of money and gift cards each level you went through. And so it was also different because we told people about it.
Right.
Talked about it on the podcast. We sent out an email list to the Kettle email list, put it on this Kettle social, and said like, hey, this is happening. Whereas the ones in the past, we just said, it's released. And it just really required spontaneity. Whereas this one, people could plan for it. And yeah, it definitely blew my expectations out of the water. I mean, I thought the idea was fun and sounds like something I would love to do. So I was like, oh, let's just try it. And people just apparently love this shenanigans. And this one especially got people really competitive because it was sort of a race situation. And there was dozens of people simultaneously going for those. I mean, by my count. So also I'm sitting there. I told everyone I'm going to post the coordinates at 8 a.m. Mountain Time. So I'm sitting there at 6:57 a.m. just doing my double checks, QCing, and then I'm running late. And I'm like getting really nervous. I'm like, oh, I really need to QC these before I post them. And then the Kettle text message line is just blowing up. Like, where are the coordinates? Where are the coordinates? Like, I'm like, it's 2 minutes. Hold on. I was panicking. Saturday morning, just sweating, trying to get the thing. And the site traffic is just spiking. I'm like, oh my God. Dude. So I get the things posted like 4 minutes late. All these people like losing their minds on me. They're just sitting there.
At
like
trailheads.
They think they'll be nearby and just refreshing the page.
That's amazing.
So anyways, people just go charging for these things. They basically all disappeared as fast as you could physically possibly get them from the trailhead. So within an hour and 10 minutes, every single one of the 10 level 1 jars on the front range was found.
Hour and 10 minutes.
Wow.
Whoa.
And then people were now, in the hunt for the level 2 ones, which took you way further in. And there was a bunch of people that obviously just didn't get one. There was only 10 and they just weren't fast enough.
Wow.
They weren't fast enough. They weren't close enough to the trailhead. Some people just guessed trailheads that were really close or the correct ones based on the sort of broad map that we'd put out. So it really did become this crazy off the wall weird competition. And there was even a couple guys, which we talked about before, who both had gotten one of them got the jar in Lake Tahoe that was underwater in the last treasure hunt. The other one got the one that was way out in the Black Rock Desert. These two guys they're from Reno, and they flew out to Colorado to do this.
Wow.
And they didn't get
a jar.
No way.
Yeah.
Dang.
I was rooting for these guys. These guys are so cool. And I just felt so bad. I was like,
Oh my
But
God.
I guess he had written that they were basically in the vicinity, running with people side by side, and then everyone's like hooting and hollering and having fun, and they're in the bushes rummaging, dozens of guys.
Oh, so they're
What?
they're all there.
They're all there, like
Wow.
simultaneously rummaging through bushes, lifting up rocks, like trying to find, because the coordinates are accurate, 10-ish
10
feet,
feet.
20-ish feet. And then all of a sudden one guy's like, got it. And by the time that person had got it, they're like, oh, we'll go to the next one further north. Gone. Like, it's over.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God.
Look at what you've
this
done.
got way out of hand.
Yeah.
Luckily, no reports of any bad foul play by any means.
No way, dude.
Albeit, we did think that this could happen. We just didn't think it would happen. We thought the way you could really do this is to do a team, like a team effort. Treat this like an adventure race. Treat this, like a team. And sure enough, group of mountain bike dudes that call themselves the Mountain Trolls from Colorado Springs.
Fitting name.
Yeah.
No way.
They did. They planned it out. They used their chat group. They had multiple cars, multiple people. They got 2 level 1 jars. One guy, they got 1 jar. Another guy was driving and they leapfrogged it. Another guy who was like in a command station was screenshotting what the rocks would look like for that jar and giving them
Yeah.
These guys treated it like SEAL Team 6.
I was going to say,
No
like
way.
you almost need a commander to be like, all right, here's the coordinates. Here's
they
this.
basically had that.
Here's the.
It was like 8 guys, but
8
some of
guys.
them were sort of, from what I understand, were like command stationing it and directing, and then the other guys were out
You look
doing.
at it, at the end of the day, they probably got what, $1,000 altogether, 1,100.
Well, I think it was more, right? So the winner would get $1,100 in cash and $1,100 in gift card. But so I think maybe they ended up getting $1,200 because I think they got 2 level 1 jars.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I mean, it is very much possible that they do have some sort of military background because there's a huge military contingent in Colorado Springs.
Yeah, you're right. That's a good point.
True.
I should have asked.
They could be like, all right, see that go.
Because I asked, I was, because I knew what was happening once one guy sent in that he got a level 3 jar. After he sent in prior, he got a level 1 jar. And I was like, oh, these guys are working together.
Yeah. Because you never got
and
level 2.
And I said, like, hey, there's no rules. This is fair play. I didn't.
You went over all of this with all of us, and we all had like, okay, well, you could cheat this way, you could cheat this way, and it's like, well, we'll see if people do it. It's not cheating, it's strategy, right? Like, we'll see if people do it.
I didn't think people would take it so seriously.
That's amazing.
So, anyways, these guys cleaned up, and obviously some people were a little grumpy that were on the north end that started in the Boulder and Denver area because they were so far ahead. I mean, they were probably 3.5, 4 hours ahead of anyone else because there were other just individuals or just groups of 2 together that were plucking off the other ones. But they had just finished getting basically the level 3 jar, and these guys had already got the final jar, so they were like 3 or 4 hours in the lead.
Wow.
They smoked it. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I know. And I asked, and the guy gave me this big long text and broke down the whole strategy and what they did, and I was like, dude, you guys really took this
Just
serious.
need a hobby.
Yeah. It was so funny.
You're looking at it.
Start a private company of some sort to track people and things.
Yeah.
You make some real money.
Oh,
it was so funny.
that's phenomenal. I can't believe how many
when I was watching it the morning of, and I went so fast, I was like, I wonder if Jeff's gonna give less notice on the next one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that's definitely
like maybe a 2 or 3 day notice, right? Because this people had like a month to plan to book plane tickets and take the weekend off. Hey, I can't do anything with the kids this weekend, honey. Like I'm hunting for treasure.
Yeah, it was crazy how many people were interested in it, and and the way it was broken out was some of them very much so made sense to ride mountain bikes too, and they were bikeable trails and sort of known mountain bike trails, and other ones made a ton of sense to hike or run to, and they were hike only trails. Some of them you basically just had to because they were super steep and rocky and you couldn't ride a bike on. So it didn't favor mountain bike or foot. Like you had to do both no matter what. Even the ones that were off mountain bike trails that you could ride a mountain bike close to, you still had to go from where the mountain bike trail ended off trail at least a quarter or a half mile on foot. So, and some of them you had to 4x4 too. Some of them you could, if you took a 4x4, you could get closer access before you got on foot or on the bike. So there was a lot to it. And these guys just smoked it. But
unreal.
So there was 19 jars out there in total between all of them. 7 hours, they were all gone.
That's insane.
Yeah. And this took me painstakingly 4 days to put them all out. I single-handedly put all 19 of them out, and it literally took me 5 to 6 hours of driving per day for 4 days in a row, and 8 to 10 hours of activity per day for 4 days in a row.
Unreal.
So I was basically full gas all day, 4 days in a row, as fast as I possibly could, just putting all these things out. And I planned this out just kind of haphazardly, and I was like, yeah, I could put these all out in 4 days. And then I as I'm getting closer to that trip, I'm like, oh, this is going to be tight. This is going to be really hard.
And you had somewhere to be right after, so you can like add a day.
And I basically was supposed to fly on Monday to go visit the PA shop and then do the 100-mile ride the weekend after. So I was like, man, this is going to be really tight. And I did 4 jars the first day, and it took me 16 hours. And I thought, oh boy, this is going to be a full-blown adventure stage race. And so then I just proceeded to do that again and again and again for 3 days in a row. And I set the last jar in the pouring rain in Boulder at 9:30 p.m. on Sunday. And then I flew out Monday morning.
Flew out.
Yeah.
Dang.
It was so funny, man.
Unbelievable.
It was like there were some people, for whatever weird reason, coming down some insanely steep rocky trail in the Flatirons in Boulder that were coming down at that time and just looking at me like, what are you doing? Why are you going up?
Yeah.
It's pouring, it's pissing rain, and I'm wearing our new rain shell, and just hiking up, and they're just like, what? They didn't even know what to say to me. They thought I was a
serial killer,
screw loose or something. Yeah, I was like, no, I'm hiding treasure jars. Like,
looking for your next victim.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So, anyways, it was a good time. I don't know what I'm gonna do for the next one. People obviously loved the competition format, but people just think this is fun anyway. And to me, the amount of people that truly had fun and got to go outside and also said they felt like a kid again is like, that's the whole point. It's the whole reason I'm doing this thing. I just think it's fun. It's like, how can you make marketing your outdoor apparel brand as fun as absolute possible? And I was like, God, this is an answer. So I don't know. I'm thinking Phoenix next, greater Phoenix area, maybe doing
through the
lot
winter,
more.
Southwest.
Yeah, because Phoenix is beautiful in the winter, right? So it'd be cool to go out there and maybe do easy, medium, hard, like 20 jars easy, 20 jars medium, 10 jars hard, something like that. Because then the hard jars with more money, the hardcores would just go straight there.
Yeah.
And then there'd be more people that could succeed, and then different skill levels could succeed. And it wouldn't just cater to it wouldn't cater to Colorado Springs SEAL Team 6, aka Mountain Trolls. So I don't know what to do next, but that was a good one. It was good fun.
Amazing. Yeah, seriously, when I was watching the updates on the KETL Instagram, I was just like, what?
It made me look like a dork, because it was like, oh, I thought you said it was hard to put all those things out there. Like, it was hard, okay?
By myself.
There was
for
like
4
dozens
days,
of people going at full race pace picking these things up.
Yeah, you're gonna need like a month in Phoenix.
I know. Yeah, I probably would. Yeah, now I realize how hard it is to go and hide all these things. It's just like it's really time consuming.
Yeah,
you have to bring a SEAL Team 6 out there. And be like, all right, we're breaking this into 4 people.
Recruit some employees, delegate some jars.
Totally.
Yeah.
All right, you guys go get these jars. We'll get these jars today. We'll, Yeah.
And I mean, people love it. So many people too offered like, hey, if you ever do it again, I'm more than happy to help out. Hide these things. I'm like, that's awesome. Like, people just think this is a fun activity.
I think it's awesome.
Yeah, it is fun. So
it is great.
I had the one jar in New Zealand and helped you with one in the St. Gabe's, and
for our special edition down under.
Yeah.
Nice.
When I was coming out of this creek bed, I was walking down it, my bike hidden over a log, right? And I'm like hiking up this creek, and some guy, I'm on the backcountry trail. Some guy on a bike rolls right by. What are you doing over there? Is there a trail over there?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it's just taking a break.
Lomer, dude. It's a secret lomer.
Yeah. I'm like hiking my bike down a waterfall.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Funny.
So good.
Anyways, good times at the treasure hunt. That's been a super fun project, and we'll see. And there's so many different ways I could take it, and I don't think I'm not gonna keep it the same. I'm just gonna keep doing different crap every time, just for whatever seems fun.
As you should.
So, yeah, but I'm kind of optimistic on the sort of greater Phoenix area in the winter, because it's just, I love being out there in the winter, and a lot of people said, oh, this would be amazing doing the winter time. I was like, it would, but it'd be way more dangerous.
Oh my god,
and just hard to like. You're digging through snow, and then potential avalanches from digging, or
it's so much more risk
what's it called, freeze thaw, all that stuff going out there, and it might be good one week, it's bad the next week too.
Yeah.
I think one of Dom's friends had an idea of those recon beacons to use those in the snow to see when you found it.
Yeah,
but I was like, that sounds awesome, but still, it's just The wintertime ones in the snow, too risky.
Yeah.
We'll keep
for
it to the
sure.
southwest in the winter and get back in the high alpine in the summertime.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what do you boys say we take a quick break and we bounce back with some listener questions?
Beauteous.
Yes, sir.
Wonderful. And now, a word from our sponsor.
Hey guys, Scott from B Team Productions here. Have you ever been out on a long bike ride and started to saddle squirm? You just can't get comfortable and your chamois butter wore off 10 miles ago? Introducing Sham Jam, our new patent-pending solution to this age-old problem, filled with just the right amount of botanicals and pure Amish butter. This time-release suppository is good for rides lasting up to 16 hours. It's freezable for those hot summer rides and microwavable for those cold winter mornings. Never again do the saddle squirm thanks to Sham Jam, now available in Fruit Punch.
And now, back to the show. Listener questions.
Crank it up.
Crank it up. Hey, podcast guys, if you were a fish, what would be the best bait to catch you? Not necessarily an actual bait for a normal fish. Also, what are your future plans for Trail One and Kettle products? Thank you guys for all the informative content. I have learned so much from you.
It's a nice, interesting twist on that question there.
Yeah. What would catch you, Jeff?
Good-looking woman.
Yeah. That was going to be mine. I was trying to think of a way
Classic
to say it.
straight male.
PG-13 way.
I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, I'd go.
Fried chicken
I was
salad.
just going to say some sushi platter.
Yeah. Fish
But-
to catch the fish.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm a carnivore.
that sounds pretty good.
Fish to catch fish.
I didn't think about the beautiful woman.
You're
That's a
married.
good one. I'm married, but I'm married, and initially I thought like a delicious burger and a beer.
Yeah.
I'd catch me easily.
See, I was thinking, woman first, or like a dream car. You know,
Yeah. Well, that's how they catch people actually in
$100,000. Land Cruiser or something.
Brazil. They
What?
send a pretty woman in to lure you, and then they
They do
drug
that-
you, and then they steal all your
They
money.
do that in a ton of countries.
That's
Probably happens in LA.
Yeah, it does. Lil Wayne has a
yeah,
song
or maybe
about
I'm
it.
thinking of like I don't
That-
know, Guatemala or something. I don't know.
Colombia, I think is.
Or, yeah, I know
I've
it is
seen
Colombia.
Some Instagram reels about.
Yeah,
Colombia.
I've heard
Colombia.
Colombia.
Some
Andres
powder or
Andres have told
something.
me about that.
Yeah,
It happened to him in Colombia.
really.
Mhm.
Wow. Yeah, like you meet a girl in the club, and then all of a sudden you wake up in an
Yeah.
alley with your
Lil
bank
Wayne
account
has a
drained.
song about that. It's definitely not PG-13, the song,
Yeah.
but it's called Mona Lisa, and it's about a girl going home with a guy, and then calling in her crew to come in and
Wow.
rob the place.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, if you want to hear about dark things like that, this isn't the podcast.
No, it's not.
Here we keep it light and talk about mountain bikes.
That's right. Speaking of which, future
One
Show One
and
and
Kettle.
Kettle products. We just dropped a bunch of sick Kettle products.
Yeah, there
And-
is a bunch of new kettle stuff. A lot of winter related things. So
Yep.
a much
Yeah.
more robust storm shell, which is just basically a hard shell for snow sports and the like. Alpine pants, mountain bike pants, which would be relevant because a lot of people have been asking for
Yep.
those.
Yep.
So the mountain bike pants.
I just
are
spent a lot of
amazing.
money on Kettle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone that's seen that stuff has tried it all on and just been, wow, I got to get all this new stuff.
Yep.
So some
Yep.
base layers, some merino stuff, merino hoodie, a bunch of stuff. I don't even know off the top of my head.
The
There's like 10
merino-
new
I
products
don't.
that all
I
just
don't.
came in.
I'm not positive the merino stuff's live as of today, but I think it will
The
be
hoodie
once this
is
is
at
out.
least.
The hoodie
Yeah,
is.
the merino
Yeah.
grid hoodie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
new. I got the midweight puffinator. I got the mountain bike pants. I got the jogger. I got more boxers.
Wow.
Yeah. Boxers are
Oh, I
back.
got the
Liam
brake.
bought boxers?
I use them for running only.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dude,
Same.
those boxer briefs
they are nice.
They
If
are
I'm gonna
nice.
wear them,
those
that's what I'm gonna wear.
sold out so fast.
Yeah, I only
Those are my
got one
favorite-
pair, and that's why I had to
Yeah.
order more now because
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
gone for like months.
My favorite boxers, boxer briefs.
Yeah, it was kind of funny. I mean, it took 3 years to make those. All this stuff that just came out was stuff that we didn't have any urgent need to get out anytime sooner. It was like, hey, we want to make a really nice high-end winter-related things and a few other pieces, and we just took a really long time on the development cycle. Those boxer briefs included, and those just have that really unique feature of the sort of anti-slip grip stuff that's on the bottom of them. And people just, there's so many orders where people bought one pair, and then 2 weeks later buy 5 pairs.
Yeah,
It's just hilarious how that happens. That's what men do. They're just like, I like these. I'm buying the rest.
I do it all the time.
It's a
with
classic dude thing to do.
I want
shoes,
these
shirts.
forever.
Yeah.
Just make these for the rest of my life.
Yeah,
It's
shoes, shirts, all that.
so gratifying though, as one of the people who helps design all that stuff, because you put so much effort into it, and there is no better compliment to the fact that you made a good product than seeing somebody buy one and then 2 weeks later buy 5. It's like, that is when you know you actually made a really good piece of apparel.
It is.
So,
what about Trail One? Anything in the pipeline?
We just dropped the Shed Rim and Shed Wheel set.
That's right.
So the last podcast, we jumped the gun like a day, and people were all over me trying to get those. So they are live. They're up. We've sold a bunch.
Made in USA rim.
Made in the USA
I guess
rim.
we talked all about it last
That's
podcast.
awesome.
Huh?
So that's been great. Other products, there's a few other touch points we're working on. We're also just going to kind of work on like dialing in the line a bit more. Kind of go for like a greatest product line kind of format moving forward.
I think what we were theorizing is it would be kind of cool to have the Trail One product line where you have sort of your really important staples, bars, grips, saddles, stems, whatever. So in every one of these categories, you have the basically your workhorse, your incredible value. So something that is in a very approachable price point, and it just blows all the competition out of the water when it comes to specs, weight, aesthetics, everything else like that for its price point. And then, so that's the core sort of foundation of all the products. And then you have one other level, which is an ultra premium, obscenely high end tier, which is, for the dentists, for the bike nerds, for the people who care to spend the utmost amount of money on their bicycle componentry. So I think we're going to slowly evolve the product line like that. And continue to add a few other things that we think we can add value to and would be a good product to basically use that ideology with.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, should be pretty fun.
Yeah, more colors as well and all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and if anyone ever has any ideas, feel free to message us. We're a small business making nice stuff and always open to feedback if people think there's something that we could make.
Continue to donate to trails throughout the year.
That's right.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I mean, the foundation of all that is to just have really good products that support the sport of mountain biking, and so far so good on that front, which is cool.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
Definitely try to, put all that stuff to use in 2026. So
Nice. Love to hear that. Sweet. When do you guys want to read the next question? Jeff?
Surely. Hi guys, one of your female listeners here. You helped me a lot with my XC suspension question, so I'd love to pick your brain about trail/all mountain bikes. I live in northern New Jersey. I have my XC bike that I ride most of the time, but I sometimes want to go ride tech trails at Mountain Creek or hit some jankier trails that my XC bike wouldn't do well on. I'd also like to have a bike I can do MTB trips without the anxiety of will it be in one piece when I get there. So I'm now looking at getting a longer travel bike, 140 to 150 rear, 150 to 160 front. For the days I want more plush or to go far afield. I also really don't want to have to do any battery charging, so no e-bike. Priorities, well, we would assume you didn't mean e-bike unless you specified. Priorities are durability, cable ports, and a good mix of pedaling platform and downhill capability. Besides something like an Alloy Stumpy 15 or new Trek Fuel EXLX, what should I be looking for? Thanks, Allison.
You know what bike I had in mind was the Banshee Titan. Even though that's not
true,
was a 155, but it's durable. I think they're actually on sale right now.
What's the other Banshee that's slightly less
Prime.
travel?
Prime. I think that's 135 travel, I think.
It's closer to what she was saying, 140 to 150 rear.
But the Titan, I mean, you can attest to how well it pedals.
Yeah, I really like that bike.
If you're going to go ride Mountain Creek or some jank, like, you might as well just get a little more pushing for the cushion.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other one that I thought of was Forbidden Druid.
Yeah.
Technically, it's 130 rear, but I think it rides more like a 140.
I would
agree. The
agree.
high pivot will be great on the jank.
Mm-hmm.
Cable ports are good. They're quiet. It's reliable.
Yeah, she didn't specify carbon or alloy, but just said durability is one of the main priorities.
Yeah.
And traveling with it, which kind of led me to thinking alloy, just because
true.
You have a lot less anxiety traveling with an alloy bike.
Definitely.
When you hand it over to United Airlines
And watching it get thrown on
and
the
watching
thing
it
right away.
thrown.
You're watching your
Um,
baby
it-
get thrown out of the
Yeah,
car
I
seat.
know.
You're like, oh.
It's like,
oh,
having an
no.
alloy bike makes you feel a lot better, especially a raw one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But man, if there's any awesome, rare, small, boutique, cool brand that makes alloy bikes, it's Banshee. That's for sure.
This is a cool bike. I would love to have a Banshee Titan at some
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's plenty of options from Specialized in Trek, like she had mentioned, Stumpy 15 or one of the Trek Fuel EX or LX. Obviously when you're talking to us podcast guys, as some people call us, we're much more fans of smaller boutique rare brands than the big incumbents.
Yeah.
But yeah, good
True.
good bikes all over the place. So welcome to decision paralysis of buying a bike.
Agreed.
Yeah. I mean, just try to ride them.
Yeah.
Try to see what checks most of your boxes and then go ride those if you can.
Yeah, that is a nice thing to just see if you can ride something before you decide on it. Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Liam, you want to read that next one?
Love to, Jared. It's like getting called on in class.
Mm.
Longtime customer and listener here. It's great that you folks can chew through bikes like potato chips and give us all updates on the new emergent stuff, but it's also very valuable to hear the rest of the story for us ground-bound folks who stick to our investments and improve them thoughtfully and incrementally. To that end, can we get a review of Jeff's hopefully well-used El Jefe, including innovative bird spokes and wheels, lightweight tires, envy fork, and the whole thing? What worked well? What is it best at? Any advice for someone thinking of building something similar? Is he going to keep it or turn it over as usual? After a year, how does it compare to the straight bar cutthroat he exchanged it for? Inquiring minds would like to know. Cheers and thanks, John. This guy knows your stuff, Jeff.
He
Probably
does.
knows
Yeah,
his shoe
he does.
size.
He must have watched your video that you made about that weird bike.
I forgot that I made that video.
You made that video.
So,
Was that on the El Jefe or the
Yeah.
cutthroat?
it was on the.
It was on the El Jefe,
Yeah,
but you still had the.
I think I
MV
talked
fork.
about the
The El Jefe.
cutthroat in there, but I still had the MV4 going
Yeah.
when I made that video.
Yeah.
The title that was just "This is a weird bike, but I love it," because it was. So yeah. So anyways, I think during the COVID years, I got pretty bored, like everyone did to some extent or another, and got a Salsa cutthroat, which they call a drop bar mountain bike. And then I'm not riding drop bars, so I put flat bars on it. So it was basically a rigid carbon mountain bike. So it had flat bars on it, dropper post, and what did I have on first on there? Like a 42C tire,
Like a
pretty small tire.
45 Pirelli
Yeah.
on there.
So it was a pretty small. So that thing was just crazy. It was just a crazy, lightweight, fast, rigid mountain bike that I kind of called a gravel bike, and it was just a really fun,
Yeah.
fast, efficient bike to do things with that I
feel like
liked.
It was more of like a gravel bike than
Well, it's really
I called it. I recorded my Garmin activities as gravel bike.
yeah.
it was a flat bar gravel bike.
Yeah.
The way
Yeah.
you kind of, because your tire, you never really had a huge tire, like
other
mountain bike tires, did
other
you?
NT put two Race Kings on
Yeah.
it.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, the last little while I had 2.2 tires on it, which
Yeah.
made it a little bit more mountain bikey. But
Yeah.
you're right. When it had those other tires on there, that thing was more of a gravel bike.
Yeah.
Anyways, that thing was a ton of fun. I eventually sold it and got a Revel El Jefe, which is a titanium hardtail mountain bike designed for a 120 fork, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I put an Envy rigid carbon fork on it and Bird wheels, which Bird makes the carbon rims and the crazy spokes. And yeah, that was also super fun and I really enjoyed it. And then at some point, I decided to put a suspension fork on it. I don't know why. Maybe it was because you just gave me so much flack.
No, I think you came back from a ride and your neck was sore from
Yeah,
something
my neck.
else.
It was like,
Like-
I was doing these long rides on those rigid bikes, and then my neck was I was just starting to fall apart.
But I think your neck was
it's hard to ride a rigid
yeah,
bike.
your neck or
Yeah.
back was hurt from just like
Yeah.
training in other sort. And you're like, I can't ride this bike right now. Liam,
Yeah.
order me a fork.
Yeah.
You put like a 110 mil fork, right? Or,
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, put a Sid SL on it.
That's it. Yep. And I still have it. I really like that bike. I mean, it's a ton of fun. I think literally all three of us have had LFAs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At one point or another.
Mhm.
True.
It's just an awesome, fun titanium hardtail, just genuine mountain bike. And I still ride it here and there. I ended up leaving it in Nevada because I like riding it there, and I have a loop that I do there. That's just kind of a more mellow XC route with some road in it too. So yeah, I love that bike. I did end up putting a fork on it. I will say that I just turned 36 a month ago, and rigid bikes and even hardtails, They're hard, dude. It's hard on
Yeah.
the body.
They're rough on you.
And I just put in a lot of volume too. I run a lot, I hike a lot, I ride a lot, especially if I'm training for something or doing an adventure race. And so it just kind of beats you up, and it's really nice to ride a full suspension XC bike. So the hardtail is not something I'm going to ride all the time, but I literally still love that bike. And I think the bird wheels make a ton of sense on a hardtail just because they're supple and feel really good.
Yeah.
And they're crazy lightweight. And they pair really well with the titanium frame. So yeah, I have no plans on selling that thing anytime soon. It's a super fun bike. So
I pretty much have the same bike, but it's not a Rebel El Jefe. It's a Stinner, custom Stinner.
Oh yeah.
But spec'd almost identically.
that's a Thai hardtail too, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, same fork. Basically same brakes.
I loved having 2.6 tires on that bike. It was
Yeah, that's funny that you did that because that was a different way to ride a hardtail, but it's
Totally.
still the same. Yeah.
just like 20 psi.
Yeah.
Like
People who ride hardtails religiously for ever and long times, they usually all have 2.6 tires.
well, it's because the volume helps so much with the
it
ride quality.
It almost makes it a full suspension bike.
It's like adding 20 mil suspension over a 2.4. So
yeah, for sure. So maybe you'll go and put some big fat balloons on your El Jefe at some point, but you probably won't.
Yeah, probably not. I realized too, because I did that one ride with a couple buddies, and they were on full suspension bikes, and we were riding these long flat sections of fire road that had embedded rocks. And if you ride that stuff slow, it's kind of no big deal. But when you're trying to ride that particular thing fast on a hardtail, you end up having to pedal a lot over stuff that just bucks you.
Yeah.
And it
or
just
stops your pedaling.
Yeah. It just ends up being annoying, and it's like hard to do that. Whereas a full suspension bike, you can just continue to put the power down and your body stays stable and smooth. And that's when I really realized, like, wow, this is actually kind of limiting and cumbersome to try and ride a hardtail like that. Which, again, if you're not riding with friends who are fast and trying to go fast and riding on that exact terrain, it's no big deal. But that was one of the things I noticed. I was like, this is hard on the body to try and pedal on flat fire roads on a hardtail with a bunch of impacted rocks.
Yeah. I mean, that's why my second last year racing next year I was on a hardtail. And then it was the same thing. It's like, dude, I can't pedal through this terrain. Like, I literally cannot pedal through it. So I'm like, got a full suspension. So
yeah, it like bucks you off like a like a mechanical bull.
Yep.
It's crazy. Well, how about this next one? Hi guys, love the podcast. Trav from Adelaide here. Currently riding a Norco Optics C2 2022-23, not high pivot, 125, 140 mil, and it's great for the Adelaide trails, mainly blues. I've taken it to Derby once, and I felt like I was a bit underbiked. We are moving to Launceston in January, so Georgetown, Trevelyan, and Derby will be my new backyard. It's going to be tough, I know. Do you guys, after being there, have any thoughts on what would be a good option? I will still most likely stick to the blues. I'm 46 and need to go to work on Mondays. Love what you guys do, and thanks in advance. Trav. Well, we all kind of decided like what a 140, 150 bike was pretty ideal there.
Mm-hmm. SP140,
stump jumper,
something along those lines.
Yeah,
be sweet.
Except for some of those super techie trails, which he's probably, like he's saying, he's probably going to stick to the blues.
Those are blacks with double blacks.
The blacks, double blacks. I was thankful to have the extra travel, but yeah, a lot of those blues, like kind of mid-travel trail bike, was perfect.
I think most of us were, quote unquote, overbiked for, I'd say 80 or 90% of the trails we rode in Derby.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, SP140, Stumpy, that Banshee Prime, Druid could be good. I mean, unless you're gonna ride. If you're gonna ride the tech stuff, Druid would be legit. I don't know. What do you think, Jeff? What else would be good?
I just ADD'd out looking at photos of Adelaide and where it was on the map, and it just looks like one of those incredible Australian cities that I wish I was from and lived.
It has a cool name.
It does. Yeah, it's beautiful.
It does look
beautiful. It looks
so Adelaide's cool, like a little bit further southwest than
it's
Melbourne?
West of where we were. Yeah.
That's cool.
It looks rad. He's talking about riding in Tassie?
He's moving to Tassie.
He's moving to Tassie.
Where were
He's
you,
gonna
dude?
be. He's
I
gonna
told
be.
you, I spaced out. I was looking at photos of Adelaide. I was like, that's in Australia, right? Where?
Adelaide, mate.
Oh, it's in a separate
Dude,
state.
what's so cool about Tassie is that probably a 140 bike is incredible there, but the trails are so well maintained that you can ride these incredibly fun, flowy, awesome blues on your 140 bike all day.
Yeah.
And you never feel underbiked.
No.
Yeah.
Which I just think is cool. And if you did want to ride some, EWS worthy, insane, gnarly, techie shenanigans that's just clearly marked and it's also there.
Yeah.
It's just so purpose built for mountain biking. It's incredible.
So cool.
So, yeah, I don't know. And in that 140 bike category, a lot of options.
There's a lot of
There's
options.
A lot of good options.
There's a ton of options.
Yeah, I think we named a few earlier
That's true.
too on that last question.
Yeah. I mean, Bronson would actually probably be pretty cool. We don't sell those, obviously, but
Or a high tower, even.
Or a high tower, yeah. Or like a mullet. Because isn't high tower 2929?
Yeah,
I feel like a
Bronson's
mullet Bronson would probably be a pretty fun bike there.
Yeah, I mean, try and ride some if you can. I mean, realistically,
Demo one in Derby.
Yeah, Demo one. The secondhand bike market is still just incredible right now. There's just a million people and their brother who all bought really nice bikes during the peak COVID years that now are selling them for 1/3 the price.
It's true.
So if that's the route you want to go, sweet. Otherwise, a local shop that's going to service it for you might be valuable. Which there is some cool shops in Tassie too that we stumbled upon as well. So
Totally.
Yeah.
I'm jealous. Launceston seems like a very cool city.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, we walked around there for a little bit.
We did.
Cool
Went down to the
place.
waterfront.
Mm-hmm.
You guys got those smoothies?
Yeah.
We went to that poppin' coffee shop.
Yeah, that was a good coffee shop.
Yeah.
What a cool place.
Yeah, what a cool place. Cool.
Maybe he can come ride with us.
There you go. Hit him up.
April when we go there with All Mountain Rides.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty sweet.
There you go. Well, how about this next question? Liam, you could
last
actually
one here?
This one right here, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Gents, first off, love the pod. Last episode, Liam mentioned that mountain bike cranks generally don't have Q factors, but road cranks do. What's Liam's take on the new wolf tooth pedals that have adjustable Q factor? Is anyone at the shop going to give him a test for a long-term review? Heal up quick, Liam. Cheers, Austin. Yeah, they look really good. The new wolf tooth pedals look rad. No one here has them yet. Wolf tooth, if you want to send a few, I know Tideman was already asking me about them and wanting to
Nobody
get
here
on
uses
them.
SPD.
Yeah, a lot of people don't.
Everyone uses
You do.
Crank Brothers,
No, I
and
don't.
he uses
don't?
Time.
I use Time. I've been on Time for like 4 years.
Oh.
Rock, have you been under man? He uses Time pedals.
I thought
Yeah.
Time had SPD cleats.
No, the Time has their own very unique pattern.
I guess you could say the time has come.
Yep. Trevor uses SPDs, but
There you go. Trevor does. He runs his new XTR.
a lot of their pedals look like they're definitely on the gravel XC and light trail side.
Yeah, they're not really
Yeah.
enduro pedals. None
Yeah.
of them have an actual platform to them.
No, their one that's called Trail is like an XC Plus. It'd be a great downcountry pedal.
Yeah.
No, they look excellent. Everything Wolftooth makes essentially is great. I can't think of a single product that's like not a good product from Wolftooth. Everything's
true.
repairable.
Yeah. I was
They
gonna
try to manufacture as much as they can in the USA. I don't know if these pedals are 100%, but most of their stuff is as USA made as possible.
Yeah, you got to appreciate that.
Yeah, they're doing it right, and lots of colors and options on the pedals. So
I mean, I think the reason they did go with that whole adjustable Q factor thing is because they are much more XC and gravel pedals where Q factor is much more paid attention to, whereas in trail and enduro, nobody really cares.
Yeah.
But yeah, they look excellent. I have not tried them, but I think Tideman's going to get a pair, whether Wolftooth sends us one or he buys a set. So
I guess one thing that might be useful to say, though, is why do you think, dialing in and having adjustability in your Q factor is so much more important in road, gravel, and XC than it is in trail/enduro?
I just think you're doing more pedaling. So like your hip spacing.
Way
and
more
your
pedaling.
Yeah, your feet under your hips, how the displacement of that is. You have wide hips, narrow hips, people's different, orientation of their feet and all that. And Tideman's also working on fitting people and learning all that stuff. So it's stuff he wants to dial in and learn about as well himself. So when you're doing, I'd say, majority of serious pedaling, you start to pay attention to stuff like Q factor, where your cleats are at on your shoes, back and forth. When you're a little bit more on like the trail enduro side, you're kind of just getting to the top of the mountain. A lot of people are on flat pedals anyways, where this stuff doesn't even matter. And then, you're focused on the down. So
yeah, and you're also in and out of the saddle so much more, which I
True.
think is a huge difference, right? So the longer and the more hours you're spending seated pedaling, the more imperative it is to have your fit just dialed.
Yep.
Q factor, saddle height, all of that stuff has to be so dialed in. Otherwise, your body just gets all messed up.
Yeah.
And or you're just not efficient on the bike at pedaling it either.
Yeah,
but when you talk about
getting...
trail and enduro, you're sitting and standing constantly, and you're also less concerned about optimizing for pedal efficiency and more concerned about optimizing for downhill handling. So
exactly,
it becomes very different in terms of what you're, basically trying to optimize around. But it is cool that Wolftooth did that. But yeah, not really necessary on a more trail enduro pedaler setup, but is a really cool feature to have for something that's a little bit more gravel XC focused.
Yeah.
Pedal.
And on my trail bikes, I just run a standard Q factor and I don't worry about it. Like, it's pretty wide and it is what it is.
Yeah, there was a point in time that SRAM made XX1 carbon cranks that had they sold in two different Q factors. The problem is so many mountain bikes, especially trail and enduro bikes, the chainstays are so bulky that you don't have a choice. Like, if you wanted a more narrow Q factor, you couldn't get it because it literally won't fit your frame.
A weird time as well where 1x11 came out, 1x12 was just coming out. I think those were 1x11 XX1 cranks.
They were.
And then that was also the time where everything was boost, non-boost.
Yeah.
And you had all these crazy standards, mix matching bottom brackets and spacing. And like you're saying, like, cranks were hitting chainstays of bikes that shouldn't be hitting chainstays on, but they are hitting chainstays on.
People wanted a narrow Q factor, and then they got a mountain bike that had boost rear spacing, and it just doesn't work.
Or X brand made cranks that were great 2 years ago, now they're not great. And they didn't even worry about the Q factor. They just made them because they worked on a non-boost frame. Yeah. So, it's not really something you see anymore. But,
probably for the best.
It's kind of coming. It's kind of coming more in like the pedal adjustment range now.
Yeah. Which I think makes more sense.
Like, I think time on the road, I'm not sure about the mountain, but on the road, I think they have 3 Q factor spindle options you can choose from.
Wow.
So you can dial that in with one crankset. You can go short, normal, or wide.
Yeah.
See, I'm probably in the same camp as like most mountain bikers, where like I don't even know what Q factor I should have.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't.
I actually don't know
common
the numbers
average
of them.
Trail enduro mountain biker, it just doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, I don't know what numbers they are. It's like, I have X, Y, and Z Q factor. I don't know that. I just know I like the dub non-wide.
Yeah. Which, like, I don't even know. I don't even know which. If I could tell you the difference, if I had 2 different Q factors on 2 different bikes, like, maybe. I don't know.
You'd notice more if you sat and seated pedaling for hours on end.
Like you said, like on a road bike.
If you spend 7 hours on a bike in 2 days and you went to go ride the next bike that had a way wider Q factor, you notice it for the first 30-ish minutes of riding, and you can get used to it.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, makes sense.
Adapt, overcome, improvise.
Improvise, adapt, overcome. That's right.
On that note, improvise out of here.
Yep.
I like that, Liam. Nice. Yeah, thank you, everybody, so much for tuning in. We truly do appreciate it. And we do have a discount code that we have been giving out at the end of the podcast. And that code is MTB Podcast 10.
And an insider tip, given that it's October 21st, because there's obviously going to be a bunch of sales going on in November. So
yes, that's true.
Stay tuned.
That's true. Yeah, stay tuned.
The insider tip is that quite a few things will be on sale the majority of November, but of course there's even more things on sale just for Black Friday, Cyber Monday weekend, that 4-day period. A lot of brands just want to participate in those 4 days.
I was going to say, a lot of that is not up to us to have this kind of wait window or a tiered sale discount.
That is an insider tip if I've ever heard one. And on that note, thank you all so much for tuning in. We truly do appreciate it. And we'll see you in the next one. Cheerio.
Cheerio.
Love ya.